Okay, so it's been a while since I did a tarot video, but I wanted to do a video on Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds and the Justin Baldoni situation. I haven't done tarot card readings on my channel. It's been a couple years. I might start uploading them again depending on how this video does. I found this situation to be very interesting, and a lot of people have been speculating about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's relationship. So I wanted to do a reading on them. And especially for Blake Lively, I whipped out my Game of Thrones tarot cards because she decided to make a statement to him about her being the Khaleesi and Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are her dragons. It's a long story. There are a lot of YouTubers that have done things on this situation. All right. Let me know what is going on between Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively in their relationship. What is going on? What is the dynamic of their relationship between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? What is their relationship like? Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I like to do a 5-card. I have a weird camera set up because I've moved like 2 times since the last time that I did readings. I used to do them in my car, but I don't anymore. Okay. And I also like to do the back of the deck as well. So the first card I pulled is the Ace of Spears, which would be considered wands. The King of Swords. The 5 of Swords. The 7 of Swords. And the 10 of Coins, which for the Game of Thrones deck is Pentacles. The back of the deck, we got the 4 of Swords. If you've seen any of my other videos, which has been a while, I normally use my Modern Witch Tarot deck for the most part. And this video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know any of the celebrities that I do my readings on. Strictly entertainment purposes. But the first card I pulled is the Ace of Wands upright, and normally that is telling you that it's a new beginning, one full of passion, you know, a new fun relationship. It can also mean you're going to be on a new exciting endeavor, something that, you know, you're excited about. This is the go for it card. For the most part, it means like you have a plan, do your thing. And that's definitely giving the beginning of their relationship, because the way they got together in the Green Lantern movie was definitely him starting a new beginning, because he was with Scarlett Johansson at the time, Black Widow. So it's definitely giving the beginning of their relationship, where they felt like, if you look at some of the behind the scenes of them too, you can see passion and all that stuff. And the wands are a fire card for passion. So definitely making sense to me. A lot of times in a relationship, that can also mean, like, again, the promise of new love, something romantic and passionate. And it can also mean that your relationship also has some kind of creativity in it, which is all speaking for their relationship, because they're both actors. They both were doing a project together when they fell in love. So it's definitely giving the beginning of their relationship, which sounds like it was pretty positive. Then we've got the King of Swords upright. It's funny, I didn't get one Daenerys card on here, which is hilarious. But yeah, that's not even where Dany was. Nope, that is hilarious, because I guess you're not the Khaleesi, sweetie. But for the King of Swords upright, it normally means like very intellectual, a lot of communication, spiritual knowledge. It can also indicate like judgment or decisions or legal matter. So for me, it's definitely giving the beginning half of their relationship, because Ryan did have to break up, or I think divorce, because he was married to Scarlett Johansson. He had to do, that's a legal matter. He definitely had to, I'm sure, think hard and long about whether he was going to divorce her. I think Blake was also in a relationship at the time. So it's definitely, and that is definitely, especially for celebrities, getting divorced is definitely a big legal matter. When it comes to love, it's based off of like shared interest and the same kind of ideas and passions for things, deep emotions, and you know, I guess like a friend, you know, someone you're connecting with passionately and on a mental level, because the sword cards are mental cards. Again, it's definitely giving me the beginning of their relationship. Ryan having to possibly leave the woman he's with, and also given that these two seem to really connect. Their personalities do seem to be very similar, so I could see them connecting on an intellectual level. And now we get to the Five of Swords, which is my boy King Bran right there. With the Five of Swords and it's upright, it normally can mean like what's happening after a battle, after a big fight or a battle has happened. You've got Bran kind of defeated, looking around at the swords. Maybe something isn't settled in the best of ways. Maybe there was some kind of dispute between those two. Like, this is the middle card, which is normally like an obstacle that needs to be overcame. So it's kind of giving me the thought that maybe they got into some kind of argument or dispute over something, and the problem probably was resolved, but it definitely put a strain. You know, it's like the cost of winning may not be worth the loss. Like, whatever they were arguing about may not actually be worth it. When you think about this card for love, it sometimes will kind of give you the thought of trying to resolve a problem, maybe a promise with honesty or fairness. It's also saying that you may want to make some changes in order to improve your situation. It could also mean like hurtful words were used. Certain things you just cannot take back were said in this moment. And I'm definitely seeing that as the beginning of the relationship was going well, he had to make a big decision, and then right smack dab in the middle, at some point they've gotten into it, and the argument might not have been worth it. And it's definitely giving this huge lawsuit, in my opinion. Like, maybe Ryan was upset about scenes that he saw because she had all the footage, which she's not supposed to as an actress, but she was really fighting hard to get it. And maybe he's seen certain things that he didn't like. They got into it. Things were said that Blake can't take back, and now they're in this big situation, and it's definitely affecting their relationship, and they may need to make a change. I don't know if that means they would separate, but it's definitely giving mistakes were made, things were said that shouldn't have been said to each other. So it's really starting to feed, in my mind, the thought that maybe a lot of people are saying Ryan got jealous, Blake didn't want to get in trouble, get him riled up. She might have said something. Justin Baldoni is romantic and does this and does that for his wife, and it got them two into an argument, and now she can't take back what she said, or maybe she told Ryan that she was harassed to try to get out of the situation because he was getting jealous, and now she can't take that back. Something was said that cannot be taken back. Then next up we have the Seven of Swords, which is very interesting. They only got no cups, which are normally the love cards. A lot of swords, which indicates a lot of mental things going on. Like I said, maybe arguing, thinking, thoughts. Even the card on the back of the deck is the Four of Swords. I don't know if you can see it because I have to think of a better camera angle. Then I have this the coins, which is pentacles, which stands for money. So I'm seeing a lot of money. There's some passion involved. I'm sure they do love each other, but the cards aren't showing that right now in this particular situation. Now with this Seven of Swords, that can definitely suggest you put yourself in a tricky situation. Certain things you may not be fully informed on, or maybe you have a plan, but the plan may backfire. It may be a risky plan. Like, normally if it's a regular, that's why I don't use my Game of Thrones cards that often, but this also portrays it as well, where if it's a regular deck, the guy is sneaking away with the swords. And in this, Samuel Tully is sneaking away with his father's sword. So, you know, you got a plan. It may not be the best plan. It could possibly backfire on you. So it's definitely giving that situation, like, in this relationship, something has been said and done, and it's starting to backfire, which is crazy because that's exactly what seems to be happening right now. With love, it kind of means you may want to, you know, try to compromise, be diplomatic, other than like argue with a partner, you know. Don't go along with it just to get along. If something's bothering you, you know, speak it out without kind of arguing. It can also mean leaving a relationship that does not meet your intellectual or spiritual needs, which this card, it's giving all that with a relationship, because I do also feel like the situation may make one of them leave each other. Like, both of these cards are both cards that also indicate like switching up your situation, leaving a situation. But I feel like it would probably be in a peaceful way or in a more low-key way if that does happen. Then the last card that we have is the Ten of Coins, which is the Ten of Pentacles. Now with the Ten of Coins, it's in reverse, or Ten of Pentacles, whichever you prefer. In reverse, it kind of means you may be feeling stagnant or like stuck. You may have like retired and you're kind of just sitting around, but you're kind of like bored, I guess, with life. You're bored with family life. Maybe you stopped doing a job that you were doing before that gave you that type of excitement, and now you're kind of sitting around with family, you know, just sitting at home, which is definitely giving Blake Lively, because Blake has not done many movies as of late. And there are rumors around that Ryan likes to be the bigger star, which is why him and Scarlett were having problems, because Deadpool was not as big back when Scarlett Johansson was first cast as Black Widow. And a lot of people were saying that Ryan's very like, he wants to know what Blake is doing at all times. So it's giving maybe she's at home bored, you know. In reverse, that also can mean problems at home. Maybe people are frustrated, disagreements, like frustration about responsibilities, problems with business, inheritance, property. So it's definitely giving, like, Ryan is probably the breadwinner in this family. Like, Blake is a nympho baby and she's got money, but Ryan, I'm sure, makes a majority of the money that comes into their household, and that could also be a problem for him and Blake. This whole thing is giving, they were good at first, and then all of a sudden problems started happening. In love, that 10 reverse could mean, again, financial problems within your family, unhappiness in a relationship, responsibility for children kind of might strain you, you know. A lot of emotional baggage can come along with this card, you know, and also it could show like old hurt feelings within a family. In this situation, it's definitely giving me that Blake has been probably starting to feel like, you know, I'm just this mom at home. I think at first she was probably really happy about that. And Ryan was like, I really like that. And then all of a sudden, arguments start happening, plans start happening, and I think Blake is starting to realize, like, this is not really what I might want out of life. Like, it's definitely giving there are problems in this relationship. Then for the back of the deck, I got the Four of Swords, which I'm gonna go ahead and just lay that off to the side. And the Four of Swords is upright. And that card definitely is, when I do the back of the deck, it's like the overall reading. Like the overall. And for that to pop up upright, it can mean that, you know, you've gone through a period of difficulty and you're thinking about your experiences in life, trying to understand the meaning. You could also be coming back from taking time, you know, some downtime. Either could be from an illness, an injury, or just because you needed some time to yourself. This is normally the calm before the storm type of card, where like everything is going good until it's not. And that's this whole reading. I think it's so interesting when the cards kind of do that. This whole reading is definitely giving everything was good, and then all of a sudden something started happening. Like, and it was like she was taking a break, she was doing her downtime in this great relationship, and then all of a sudden all of this starts happening. Whatever happened right here, whatever they were arguing about, I think that kind of was the start of all this negativity. Now, for the Four of Swords in a relationship, that could mean you're trying to carve out some time for yourself, or trying to carve out some kind of space for yourself, you know. It can mean challenges in a relationship. You might feel drained in your relationship or discouraged. And it's best to kind of, I guess, you know, it means you need to discover yourself, restore your balance. So it's kind of giving, again, their relationship is challenged. It's definitely giving a very challenged relationship, and it's suggesting that Blake and probably Ryan need to take some time for themselves. Let's see. I want to just extend on the cards a little bit. And I guess see how Blake feels about her relationship to Ryan. How does Blake feel about Ryan Reynolds, her husband? How is Blake feeling about her husband, Ryan Reynolds? What is her take on their relationship? I'm just going to use the same deck. Back of the deck, we got some Cersei cards. I don't know about Danny, but she's definitely giving me Cersei. Look at that. We got a whole Cersei card pop up. Not a Danny in sight, because Danny, I don't think it's as bad as everybody thinks she is, but I digress. No Game of Thrones talk. Okay, so the first card was the Six of Swords. Strength in reverse is next. The Moon, the Ten of Spears in reverse, and the World card. All right, so the Six of Swords upright is smooth sailing ahead, leaving behind like trauma, sadness, you know, embarking on a new path and leaving stuff behind. And for love, it can for love, it's like you resolve major problems. You're in a place of understanding, harmony, letting bygones be bygones, things of that nature, which makes sense. You know, you found a new relationship, you let go of the old one, because it did come out in the beginning of the relationship when all the passion is happening. So it's definitely giving their relationship for sure. Now, with that Strength card coming up in reverse, that's kind of like you're struggling, battling with yourself. Kind of like, I guess, Brianna Talks was doing with Jamie, you know, because he was either good or he's bad. It's kind of also showing being controlled by your emotions. I guess, ignoring your instincts, you know, and maybe you need to listen to more logic. It's saying when he was getting divorced, Blake wasn't listening to her better instincts. That's what I think. Right at this point, when he had to make a decision whether he was going to be with her or not, that should have been Blake was probably listening to her instincts. In love, that could mean you may be afraid to show your true feelings. You try to like put up a tough facade, which sounds like Blake as well, because she's always joking on people, like, oh, I'm just joking. Yeah, but normally Blake puts on a tough facade, and it's kind of letting you know, like if you're getting this card, that you shouldn't put on that tough facade, and, you know, put your defenses down a little bit, let go of your ego. Then I got the Moon card in the middle. The Moon card upright is normally telling you to pay attention to your instincts. It's also connected to kind of like a facade being dropped or something. Like maybe this argument showed her exactly what she's dealing with, or maybe it never really hit her before because she was just stuck in the honeymoon phase of it all. And then he left his original wife as well, but now she's kind of getting the gist of it. In love, it can mean a highly emotional relationship, which that sounds like. Sometimes it can mean you have a sensitive partner who is normally creative. Ryan is very sensitive. She's learning how sensitive Ryan has become. That facade has been dropped, and now she knows how sensitive Ryan really is now that she's doing this movie. Because I feel like the only romantic movie I've seen her in prior to this was The Age of Adeline. I didn't watch that movie, so I don't know if she had any actual romantic scenes with anybody, but I know she had guys she was dating in the movie. So that was their beginning of their relationship, I want to say, if they were even together. That movie came out like 2015. So I'm sure he probably wasn't as pressed as he would be now, for they've been together for like, what, 10 years? Then we've got the Ten of Spears in reverse. And the Ten of Spears, that can mean like a burden has been lifted off of you. Responsibilities that are on your shoulders have been lifted, type of situation. Someone has came and pitched in to help you share your load. When it comes to a relationship, that can mean you become a little bit more balanced. If you felt uncertain about your partner's commitment, now you know where they stand, type of situation. And I feel like that would be her, one of them leaving each other, and her being able to feel like a weight has been lifted off of her shoulders. She now knows how Ryan is, you know, what to expect from their relationship. Then last but not least, we have the World, and it's upright. And in the readings that I do, these are like the solution to your problems and the outcome to your problems. So it's kind of giving, if she does leave Ryan, she may feel snagged. There may be some kind of argument over money, because this whole, when I look at it in a broader picture, it's definitely giving me the beginning of their relationship, and then the outcome if they happen to possibly leave each other. And I feel like that will probably take away from Blake being able to do more movies, if she can, after this situation. There probably will be arguments over money. And then we have this World card coming up, and that's showing that she probably will be happier though. She probably will see moves in her career. You know, their family life has been broken, but I feel like it's gonna be a whole new world for her. Like, which is funny because she wants to be a Disney princess. But, you know, maybe new financial endeavors, a new beginning. When it comes to love and a relationship, maturing, fulfillment, you know, overcoming egos and fears, insecurities. So either they're going to get through this half and overcome it and she's just gonna stay with him, or she's gonna leave him. It's kind of giving, regardless of whichever one she does, this is gonna be the outcome, which is the same outcome she has right now, which is her feeling like she's stuck. She can't do anything. Like Brand in this, he can't do anything. He's stuck. Like, he can't walk. He's just stuck here in his home. Everybody else got to leave except him. You know, he's stuck, he's stagnant. She's still gonna be kind of stuck and stagnant, but it's gonna open up a whole new world of opportunities for her. The back of the deck is the Five of Cups. That's the one love card or cup card that I've drawn. Then I've got the Five of Cups in reverse. Oh, I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong card. The Five of Cups in reverse on the back of the deck for her. And I'm gonna move that off to the side as well. There's a Danny card. And that's kind of showing me that whatever she's gonna go through is gonna be less painful. If it's upright, it's more painful. But whatever loss, like this is a card of loss. Like this is Cersei after she's lost her children. You know, at least after she lost 2 of her children. So it's definitely showing, you know, you're not certain how you're gonna handle disappointment or loss, but it's a way you're going to start to move on from it. It's a card of healing. You will heal. So her overall reading is, for her and their relationship is giving, there is a burden. You know, she was unsure. She is starting to see things now. And if she can get this weight off of her shoulders, she'll probably be a lot happier. Because right now in their relationship, she's not happy. She is stuck at the house with the kids. She can't leave most of the time. Ryan's probably on her about everything. Ryan gets to go shoot Deadpool, which I'm sure is way more important than whatever Blake's got going on. But she'll be all right. And she'll get over it. She'll be sad. She'll be upset. You know, a marriage is ending, so it wouldn't be a habit. It's definitely giving me that their relationship was happy and making big decisions on life together, but then got stuck, got into disagreement, you know, had this situation happen, which I swear that's this situation all day long, the Justin Baldoni thing. And then, you know, you got Blake sitting at the house, not being able to do anything. And that's really starting to make me think, like, after the situation happened with the movie, like, they were finished filming a while ago. Blake was probably just sitting at the house waiting to go do all the press junkets. I think that's what they're called. They go and meet with the press. Like, just sitting at the house, waiting around, eating food with the kids, you know, counting Ryan's money, waiting to get her check. And it's showing that if she does happen to fix this problem with her and Ryan, either leave him or fix it, it will get better. But this card is letting you know it's going to be hard. But it's not going to be hard as she thinks it is. And I'm going to try to fit in Ryan before my kids come home. So how does Ryan Reynolds feel about him and Blake Lively's relationship? How does Ryan Reynolds feel about him and Blake Lively's relationship? How does he feel about it? Ryan Reynolds feel about him and Blake Lively's relationship. Alright, we're gonna stack him up. Oh, we got a Danny card. Yes, got a Khaleesi. Ooh. Try to make sure they're all in frame because my camera setup is different than it used to be. Okay, his back of the deck, he got a Cersei on the back of the deck too. In reverse again. So we've got Blake and now we've got Ryan. So First card I got was the Queen of Spears, which is the Queen of Wands. It's in reverse. Sorry, that was my mom again. In reverse, it can mean a situation that you're in won't necessarily come to fruition as fast as you think it is. Like, or you won't be satisfied for long. Like, because it's a flame card. It's a passion card, but it's saying you won't feel that way for long, which is very interesting coming up in this lineup right here. Very interesting. It kind of lets you know you're like not feeling inspired. It may also mean that this particular person who you're doing the reading for can be jealous or manipulative, both when it comes to love and business, and like you don't want to cross them. Like they're a drama queen. Like the irony of Danny being the drama queen card, which is funny because this deck came out like season 6, I think, of Game of Thrones, maybe even season 5. This is before the season 8 fiasco. In a relationship, it can also mean like you have emotional upsets, infidelity, or affections are cooling, which is very interesting. And it's more so giving drama queen, do not cross line. Then we have the Tower in reverse, also for Ryan. And in reverse, the Tower can mean like you're refusing to change old habits, old patterns, which could also be a Ryan thing. It can also kind of mean that something is kind of preparing you for a change that might happen, you know, which is making sense in this card because, like I said, this is giving Ryan leaving his wife and him thinking like everything's gonna go well in this relationship, but I think it's preparing him for things to not go well. It's kind of like, I feel like maybe when he did all this, he was not sure if being with Blake, him and Blake were both uncertain. Both of these, to me, are uncertainty cards when it comes to this situation. Blake not trusting her instincts, and Ryan being prepared for something that he wasn't ready for because he refuses to change. And that makes sense to me with this relationship. Then, in the middle, we have the Page of Wands, and it's upright. That can kind of mean like the early stages of a situation about to take place, which definitely makes sense with all of this. Especially if they got into an argument about something. Blake is starting to see, like, the card also can represent someone who is more childlike, like a childish person, regardless of their age. Like, which again gives Ryan, definitely. When it comes to a relationship, it can mean like innocence, a playful relationship, and showing openness and honesty, being optimistic towards love, which gives me their relationship in a nutshell because they seem pretty playful. Blake says they talk when they're like staring in each other's eyes instead of having solid romantic moments, which for me, instead of calling somebody a psychopath for having solid romantic moments, you would think they would have both. Moments where they can be around each other quietly. Like, I don't want to be staring into your eyes romantically and then you're like, oh, you know what happened to me at work today? Like, that's more for a different moment. And I feel like they are very immature about their relationship in the beginning to where they don't do things like that. They seem to be kind of childish, both of them. That's why they fit so well together, but that doesn't mean just because you and a person get to have the same personality doesn't mean y'all should be together. You know, some people fit together like that and some people don't. Then we got the 7 of Spears in reverse. And that came up in this lineup. And with that being in reverse, you don't know which direction to kind of take. It's like you have a lack of clarity. And it kind of makes you feel like you want to give up. Like, this is a fighter card, but you're reversed, so you're giving up the fight, which is interesting because Blake is, you know, trying to get a burden off of her shoulders. And when it comes to love, it can indicate giving up on a relationship and you feel like worn down by all the problems and you don't know how to settle your differences. And this card can also suggest that maybe like going to a counselor or something would help. And that's definitely giving, after this situation, I feel like both of them are going to feel like this relationship is a burden and it's going to feel like confusion and, you know, you just don't know what to do. You know, I can definitely see that. Giving up on a relationship. It's crazy how the cards turn out. All right, and the last card we have is the Nine of Cups in reverse. My boy Sam. And when that is in reverse, it can sometimes indicate like self-indulgence and excessiveness, kind of smug about your riches, which makes sense. And it's very interesting that that's what comes up in this, because I feel like with Blake, she's going to see a whole new world, even though I feel like Ryan is going to sit around with his money and be like, yeah, look at me. Like, Ryan's the type of guy who just gives me this, look at me vibe. Look what I have type of vibe. Like, and Blake is going to probably be sitting back with the kids, watching, feeling a little down. But at the end of the day, she'll get over it, and it'll open up a whole new world for her while he's still sitting around with all his possessions, just looking smug, you know, feeling rich without his wife, I guess. And it can also mean that you're smug about things that you gained out of ill will, which is interesting. I need to put a pin in that, because if they really stole this movie from this man, he's gonna sit back and be smug about it, and then him and Blake leave each other, and Blake's just off doing something else, and she was the one that would be terrible. As to love, though, this 9 in reverse, normally it also, you know, means you're very frivolous in your relationship, or you're insensitive in your relationship. So it's giving like Ryan at the end of this might end up being a little bit insensitive to how Blake feels about this whole situation. He might be smug about everything that he's got, and he doesn't care how he had to get it. Then, for the back of the deck, we got the Queen of Swords, Miss Cersei again. And she's in reverse. Alright, now with the Queen of Swords in reverse, that means you may feel trapped, limited, like kind of unable to speak your truth. It also means you feel disappointed at home or at work, which for them I feel like he might feel disappointed at home. It also means like maybe broken promises, things that like just didn't manifest the way you kind of wanted them to. You could also kind of feel like, again, like giving up. It's kind of giving Ryan. I feel like it's kind of get both of them, really. It's like you can't move beyond your loss, though. And like you're emotional, and your emotions kind of interfere with your judgment, which again is giving Ryan's whole reading. Again, the back of the deck is the full reading for me, and it's definitely giving he's emotional, drama queen. You know, he's confused. He doesn't know which way to go. He's letting his emotions rule him, and because he lets his emotion rule him, he feels kind of trapped. That definitely could be a thing. I'm definitely seeing that in this relationship. I feel like both of them kind of feel trapped in their own way. Because again, this top was just generally their relationship. Again, both of them probably need to take some time for themselves. Both of them feel stuck and stagnant in some type of way. There's been some kind of situation that is causing battles and fights. And at the end of the day, both of them will be fine, but not without consequence or some kind of problem, whether it be emotional or mental. It feels mainly mental, because I'm getting a lot of mental cards. Their relationship did seem to be very passionate. Again, there is some love in their relationship, but he's gonna be smug and just kind of, you know, whatever I feel like. So it's crazy how the cards are. It's definitely giving me their relationship. I'm happy I got to finish that reading. I might try to do Blake and Justin Baldoni and Ryan. But again, this is for entertainment purposes only. If you enjoyed this reading and would like me to continue to keep doing readings, like, comment, subscribe, suggest a reading. Like I said, it's been a while, so you'll see like videos from 2-3 years ago, but I want to get back into my groove of doing the readings. So, like I said, if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you for listening.